Very good morning, children. I'm your SHS sir. So here I am with the second volume of the chapter Internal Reconstruction. So in the first volume, we have seen meaning of internal reconstruction, methods available for internal reconstruction, the legal procedure involved, as well as the objectives of internal reconstruction. So in today's video, we shall learn the accounting procedure involved in case of external reconstruction. Basically, there are two steps being involved under accounting procedure in case of internal reconstruction. The first one is passing the journal entries with respect to reduction in the share capital as well as the debt capital. That is whatever the amount being foregone by the claimants. So there is a need for recording of all this. Along with that, if there is any appreciation in the value of the assets, that also has to be taken. Then writing off of various losses, fictitious assets and overvalued assets. So the journal entries have to be passed for these two. Along with that, you need to prepare a reconstructed balance sheet. That is, after the reconstruction process or procedure is completed, you need to prepare a new balance sheet in the vertical format as being prescribed in the Companies Act of 2013. So before we proceed with the preparation of accounting procedure, better that I can suggest you to go for a capital reduction account to know more about the capital reduction account, because whatever is being found here in the capital reduction account is taken separately as an entry to be passed in the at the time of internal reconstruction. So what is this capital reduction account? I have told you whatever the amount being foregone by the liabilities will be definitely taken on credit side here. That is amount being credited to the capital reduction account. At the same time, whichever the asset being written off will be debited to the capital reduction account. So shareholders, debenture holders, creditors, or excess amount to surrender ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ forgo ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅದಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಏನೇನು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನಾವು ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಆಯ್ತಾ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ನು ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ a capital reduction account. Okay, it's a separate account which is being prepared at the time of internal reconstruction. Okay, this account is prepared in order to know what is the actual amount of income or the capital profits being made on reconstruction. Okay, internal reconstruction, and how such amount available so is being administered in writing off of various assets. So such items are being taken on debit side. Simple ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಂತ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಐಟಮ್ಗೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ನಾ ಬರೀ ಇಷ್ಟು 4 ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ, ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ 4ಕ್ಕೂ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಟು ನ್ಯೂ ಇಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ being foregone, all that is being taken on credit side, and for each and every item which is being recorded on credit side, you need to pass a separate entry. ಇದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಐಟಮ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬೋಲ್ಡ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು ಎನಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನಿದು ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ರೀಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಸೈಡ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. When there is a debit balance of profit and loss account, obviously no one can show reserves on liability side. It cannot be shown. By chance ನಿಮಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ to write off various assets that should be used. Therefore, such reserve will be always transferred on credit side. Okay, ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ನೀವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ರೇರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನೇ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಮಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್. ಎನಿ ಸಚ್ ಅಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆನ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಇದಿಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಸೊ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ನೆನ್ನೆದು ಇದು ಯೆಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. I've told you, say if at all there is any reduction here, say all these items are being reduced. Share capital is being reduced by 8 lakhs, debentures are reduced by 2 lakhs and creditors are reduced by 2 lakhs because these are the amounts being sacrificed by them. Now these are the capital profits which will be taken to the credit side of a capital reduction account. Ee items alla elli barutte credit side of a capital reduction account alli. Hage these are the assets which are being written off, so will appear on the debit side of a capital reduction account. So only foregone amount or surrendered amount will be taken on credit side and assets being written off will be taken on debit side. Okay, so this you can understand. If there is any unrecorded liabilities or increase in the liabilities, that also will be taken on debit side. Reconstruction expenses, idu rare case baruvanthaddu. By chance if it is being paid, it will be taken on debit side. First payment ge on separate entry pass ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Again such expenses will not be allowed to be retained in the balance sheet. That also should be written off, for which sake you have to pass a separate entry by transferring that particular reconstruction expenses to the capital reduction account by debiting the capital and crediting the reconstruction expenses. Then to preference dividends. If at all any dividends is being paid which are not being shown in the balance sheet, such amount so paid should be again recorded here. Okay, considering it as an additional liability. This is second entry actually for actual payment, whatever the amount that is the outstanding preference dividends account to bank account and the again this outstanding preference dividends will be for the second entry it will be transferred to the capital reduction account. Okay, then this is the difference amount which is being found at the end, which will be transferred to capital reserve account, and this will appear in the balance sheet. For maximum problems you may not get a difference. If at all there is any difference, then that you have to transfer to the capital reserve account. And remember, definitely you will not get a balance and you should not get a balance on credit side. ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರಬಹುದು. ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಬರಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ನಾಟ್ ಮೋರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಇದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ನಿಮಗೆ 6 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಅವಾಗ ಈ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ 8 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಗೆ ಅದರ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ ಗೆ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲೇಟರ್. ಓಕೆ, so consider this question, the first question what you have in your question bank. A company after series of heavy losses resolved to reconstruct itself internally upon the following terms. Now this is what is the internal reconstruction. Aita ee ondu scheme na adopt ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ to reduce the capital as well as to write off the assets. Okay, the shareholders to forego 2/5 of their capital. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 parts ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 parts ಅವರು ಆಯ್ತಾ ಫೋರ್ಗೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಸರೆಂಡರಿಂಗ್, ಮರ್ತು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಸರೆಂಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. As at present 50,000 shares of rupees 10 each are allotted. 50,000 shares into 10 each ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 lakhs ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ 5 lakhs ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2/5 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 lakhs. So the shareholders are foregoing how much amount? 2 lakhs they are foregoing. They are sacrificing 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs ಅವರು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ? To write off these assets. ಅದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. The goodwill 1,50,000 need to be written off completely. Goodwill ಇದೆ 1,50,000, ಅದು ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋವೆಲ್ಲನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. The plant and machinery which stood at rupees 1 lakh were written down to 75,000. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿ 1 lakh ಇರುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಷಿನರಿನ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? 75,000 ಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 25,000 is written off. Be careful with these two words. Okay, to and by. By ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ it is being written down by ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ 75,000 you have to take in the capital reduction account. ಅದೇ 2 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಬರೀ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಂಗಾದ್ರೆ this is the amount to be shown in the new balance sheet. So what is the worth of the machinery? 75,000. By how much you are writing down? 25,000. ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ? ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬರೀ 25,000 ಮಾತ್ರ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So be careful. What is that I said? If it is given to take the difference in the capital reduction account. If it is written down by anta kotre aita avaga same amount you have to take in the capital reduction account. So that is amount foregone anta artha. The freehold land need to be written down by. You see now the word, what is that word given? By anta. So therefore same amount you take where in the capital reduction account. So 3 assets are written off. Idanna debit side togobeka. Aita? Now you can go for a solution. Take the heading capital reduction account. Take the columns. As I said, how much is the reduction here? 50,000 into 10 into 2 by 5. So 5 lakhs is 250. That's 2 lakhs. That you write on credit side by equity share capital account. How you write? This is what I said. 50,000 shares into 10 rupees each into 250. So that gives you 2 lakhs. Okay. They are willing to forego 2/5 of their holdings, and these are the assets being written off. This you write on debit side. ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ಅದೇ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗೋಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, but increase in the liability will be taken on debit side. Okay. Now take this, all these are the assets being written off. So take on debit side to goodwill account 1,50,000, to plant and machinery, only the difference you take 1 lakh minus 75,000, so 25,000, then to freehold land, that is 25,000. So total is 2 lakhs. There is no change. If at all there is a difference, I have told you any such difference where you have to take a to capital reduction account on the debit side. Remember, freehold, leasehold, freehold, a land on which no loans are being borrowed, such what we call as a freehold. Andre the land is not subjected to mortgage. It is not mortgaged. It is free from any of the charges, such what we call them as a freehold. If it is given as security for raising of any of the loan, then it becomes as a leasehold. Now these are the total, so there is no difference. End up there. What you are asked? You are asked only to prepare a capital reduction. So leave there. Well, now we shall learn the journal entries. This is the first journal entry for reducing the capital. If there is any reduction in the share capital, this is the entry that you need to pass. Share capital account. Other equity shares idre equity share capital account debit. That's the old one. Give a credit to again equity share capital account. New, right? To capital reduction account. This is amount foregone. So whatever the amount being foregone, surrender, sacrificed, that amount should be always credited. Okay, it's a liability. Increase in liability is credited. Again, this is also a liability being credited, but with a lesser amount. Okay. this is being debited because that entire is being decreased, that is being old one is being removed. Okay, so if at all you can just have a glance at the accounting, that is a debit rules of debit and credit under the American system. So you can have this for capital debit if there is a decrease. Illi old capital ಅಷ್ಟುನು decrease ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Since there is a reduction in the entire share capital, okay, old share capital, there is a debit for that. Okay, and increase after it is being decreased, right? The face value is being changed, the paid up value is being changed, therefore the new capital is being credited because there is an increase to that extent. Alright, again, capital reserve, capital reduction account is a capital allow. Okay, it comes as a reserves and surplus. So since there is an increase in that, again it is being credited. Okay, hope you have understood that entry. Share capital debit, this is the old amount, give a credit to, again, equity share capital. If there is a preference share capital account debit, give a credit to preference share capital account, that's a new, again to capital reduction account. So like this you have to pass an entry. If there is any reduction in the value of debtors, in the value of debentures, right, whatever the amount being foregone will be taken here. Say creditors account debit, separate entry, give a credit to capital reduction account. If debentures are foregone the amount, debentures account debit to capital reduction account. Okay, sometimes what happens, these old debentures again may be replaced with the new debentures. So in that case, to say, if at all there is any change in the denomination of the debentures, in that case you have to pass this entry. Debentures account debit is the old, give a credit to debentures account to capital reduction account. Of course, the same entry in some of the books you can find as written as two entries. First, the old debentures will be transferred to debenture holders account, stating as debentures account debit to debenture holders account. Next, debenture holders account will be debited and a credit will be given to these items. Okay, so either of the two cases, debenture holders get one debit and one credit gets cancelled. Ultimately, this is the entry which is being left out. So you can go for this same entry. What is that? Debentures account debit, give a credit to, this is the old debentures, like how we pass here. Share capital old, give again credit to the share capital account, that's a new, then to capital reduction account. Same way, old debentures you debit, give a credit to new debentures, again to capital reduction account, right? And for if at all there is any appreciation the value of an asset, like I have told you, land and buildings may be appreciated. In that case, the concerned land and buildings will be debited and a credit will be given to the capital reduction account. So what is that one common thing you can find in all these cases? There is a credit to the capital reduction account, there is a credit to the capital reduction account, there is a credit to the capital reduction account. Like this, whatever is being credited implies added. Okay, so all such amounts you have to take together, that is an addition item. From that you have to deduct these items. Okay, so as if these amounts are being written off. So capital reduction account now is being debited and a credit is being given to all these items whichever is being written off. You can see to profit and loss account, to goodwill, preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares or debentures. So all these are the fictitious assets which cannot be realized. Then to reconstruction expenses, if at all any other assets to the extent being reduced, and capital reserve, that is a balance amount. Okay, so like this, these four entries, minimum four entries, first you remember. Okay, the balance we'll discuss later with the problems. Okay, ನೋಡಿ very simple. ಏನೋ ಈ ಮೂರು ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏನಿದೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಎರಡು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎರಡು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ? ಒಂದು ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ, ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ? ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್, again to equity share capital account to capital reduction account. If there is a preference shares being reduced, so preference share capital account debit to again preference share capital account new to capital reduction account, like that twice. Okay, separately equity shares is separate to preference shares is separate entries. Similarly creditors ge entry separate to debentures ge separate entry. Heng martira? Creditors account debit to capital reduction account one entry over, then debentures account debit to capital reduction account adu separate entry. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹಿಂಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಆರ್ ಆಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್. on that basis you have to keep on passing a separate entries, right? ಇದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ನಾವು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದಕ್ಕೂ ನೀವು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಒನ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸ್. ಓಕೆ, say for each and every entry that on taken on credit side you have to pass a separate entry, but for all these together you can pass. What is that? Cap reduction account being debited and a credit is given to all these items. All right, well, let us see this question given in May 2006 for 6 marks. A public limited company passed a necessary resolution and received the sanction of the court. This is what yesterday I told you in the first volume. This is the National Company Law Tribunal. That's a court, okay, which has given this particular scheme as being sanctioned. They can adopt this particular scheme, that is approval given by the court for reduction of capital by rupees 5 lakhs, and they decided to ನೋಡಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ 5 lakhs ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ನ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಮ್ಮತಿಸಿದೆ. ಹೌ ಟು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್? ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ 5 lakhs ನ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು? ದೇ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ 2,10,000, plant and machinery worth 90,000, goodwill worth 40,000, and investments worth 8,000. If at all still any difference, will be transferred to capital reserve account. The reduction was made by converting 50,000 preference shares of rupees 20 each fully paid to the same number of shares of rupees 15 each fully paid. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋಗಿದೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ 20 rupees ವರ್ತ್ ನ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? 15 rupees ವರ್ತ್ ಗೆ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಫೋರ್ಗಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 5 rupees is foregone. See this, 20 each reduced to 15 each, right? ನೀವು 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ನೀವೇ ಈಗ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 20 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ, ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ 15 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಾಯ್ತು? 5 rupees. ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗೆ, ದೇಣಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ, ಆಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸರೆಂಡರ್ಡ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ 5 rupees ನ ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ? ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ 50,000 shares of rupees, that is equity shares. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. 50,000 shares of rupees 20 each. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 50,000 ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 50,000 ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್ if nothing is specified just here, you can see here after 50,000 what is mentioned here? Preference. But here after 50,000 nothing is mentioned, right? So you have to assume which type of shares are these? They are the ordinary shares or equity shares. So 50,000 shares, even here also 20 rupees each is being reduced to 15. So what is the amount foregone by these people? 5 rupees is the amount foregone by these people. Okay, I'm sorry. 20 rupees is a face value, but paid up is 15. Now it is being converted into ordinary shares of rupees 10 each fully paid. ಆಯ್ತಾ? 20 rupees ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ 15 rupees ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಫೇಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 20 rupees ಇರೋದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? 10 rupees ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರು, ಆಯ್ತಾ? It is not 10 rupees foregone actually. They have paid out of 20 rupees face value. The shareholders have paid only 15 rupees. Still 5 rupees they should have paid. But now, what is that happening? Such 15 rupees paid up share is converted into 10 rupees each fully paid up. So thereby they are also foregoing how much amount? 5 rupees per share they are foregoing. Okay. Now you go for a capital reduction account. So take the columns. Since you are asked here, prepare a capital reduction account at the capital reserve or capital reduction ಅಥವಾ reconstruction account, anything you can consider. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಈಗ capital reserve account ಅಥವಾ capital reduction account where you are preparing, okay, the difference will be taken to capital reserve. Here I was telling you 50,000 shares, preference shares of rupees 20 each reduced to 15 each. So 5 rupees is the foregone amount. In the capital reduction account we take up only the sacrificed amount, foregone amount by them. Okay, so write on credit side by preference share capital account. how much? 50,000 shares into, what is the difference? 5 rupees each. So that is amount foregone by them. That gives you 2,50,000. Similarly, ordinary shares or equity shareholders by equity share capital account, they are also 50,000 shares into the difference only 15 and 10 difference 5 rupees. So that gives you 2,50,000. So debit side you write now this point as per point number A, whatever the assets being given one after the other. Write off losses. Losses is nothing but the profit and loss debit balance. So to profit and loss account. How much is that? 2,10,000. Plant and machinery. How much is that? 90,000. Goodwill 40,000. Then investments 8,000. You can find credit side is more, 5 lakhs is there. But this is not equal to 5 lakhs. So there is a difference. What is that difference? That's a capital. How much is that? 1,52,000. So whatever the difference you are getting here is being transferred to capital reserve account. But here you make it as reduction capital reduction account and or reconstruction account also you can consider. So the difference is being transferred to an account called as a capital reserve account. Now this is one part is completed. Actually you are asked and pass a journal entries. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು journal entries ಬರುತ್ತೆ observe ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು journal entry, ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು journal entry, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದು entry. So how many? 3 entries will come here, right? In this point B, there are 2 amounts being reduced. For that separate entries and for writing of one entry. For writing of always you take the last entry. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಎಷ್ಟು reduce ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ first entries ನಾವು pass ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So what is the first entry here now? Preference share capital account debit. Give a credit to capital reduction account. Again to new preference share capital. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ಎಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಣ one by one. ಇದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ one entry, that is capital reduction account debit to profit and loss account, to plant and machinery, to goodwill, to investments and to capital reserve account. ಇದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದು entry. So in total how many entries I said? 3 entries that you need to pass here. Well, now you can take the columns for the journal entries. Go for a journal entries. Take the columns. So the first journal entry for this reduction, you can keep looking only here. By converting 50,000, see this is the first sentence. 50,000 preference shares of rupees 20 each, fully paid, to the same number of shares of rupees 15 each. It is being reduced. Okay. So here you can observe this is the first entry. Illi preference shares anta tagolli. First one you have to write preference share capital account debit. 2. Same again, new preference share capital account to capital reduction account. How the amounts should be taken, that I let you know. First you write the first entry. Preference share capital account debit. Okay. This is the old. See how much is there? 20 rupees each into 50,000. 50,000 into 20 each. Alright. That is being taken. So how much you get, that you write in the debit column. It is coming to 10 lakhs. Now this is being reduced to how much? 15 rupees each. Same number of 15 rupees each anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅದನ್ನ new capital ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Again give a credit to preference share capital account. Okay, but here 50,000 shares into 15 each. 50,000 shares into 15 each. So how much is that? That gives you 7,50,000. Then the balance which is being foregone, which already you have written here, that will be taken for the capital reduction account. So to capital reduction account. So that is a foregone amount. How much is that? 2,50,000. How you are getting that? 10 lakhs minus 7,50,000. The balance you are getting 2,50,000. and this is what we have taken in the capital reduction account. Any confusion? Okay, this is what is the entry being. You can notice share capital account debit old, give a credit to share capital account, that is a new. ಇಲ್ಲಿ preference shares ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. In a balance it is being transferred to capital reduction account. So the same entry what I am giving, old preference share capital account debit, give a credit to new preference share capital account, again to capital reduction account. Alright. Similar again, now you write for the other entry, other one reduction, which is that it is regarding a ordinary shares or a equity shares. See this again, 50,000 shares of ₹20 each, 15 paid up. Only you have to take 15 now. 15 rupees paid up value. It is being reduced to 10 rupees each. So take a equity share capital account debit, 50,000 shares into 15 each. That is a paid up value. So that gives you 7,50,000. Now again give a credit to equity share capital account. This is the new 50,000 shares into 10 each. It is being reduced to 10 each. So how much is that? 5 lakhs. Still balance transferred to capital reduction account. That is what is being taken already here in the 2,50,000 which is taken in the capital reduction account. So on the foregone amount is taken in the capital reduction account. The foregone amount is taken to capital reduction account. Okay, this is also foregone amount. Okay, which is being taken to capital reduction account. Now these two entries are over from this. Now the third entry will be for writing up various assets. ಇವೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಒಂದು entry. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಇದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ and a credit is being given to all these. This is the simplest way when you pass a cap reduction account, prepare a cap reduction account. But when you doesn't prepare a cap reduction account, what to do? Okay, so now here you can find there are two places cap reduction account being credited. It is an addition item. Now that should be debited. Okay, always this debit part you should have to take only at the end. After passing all the other entries, you take at the end for writing off various assets and losses. Now third entry, right, cap reduction account debit. See how much is here? 2,50,000 cap reduction account. Idu one amount. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದು 2,50,000. ಈಗ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 5 lakhs is there in the cap reduction account. That is what I said. In total, how much is there in the cap reduction account? 5 lakhs. Got it? ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನೋಡಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. So here what is that? Cap reduction account is there, credited. Here also credit is there, cap reduction account. So like that, in whichever the entries there is a credit, all that amounts you have to add together, such what we say here as a cap reduction account being debited. Okay, with the total amounts. Give a credit to. Now which and all the items that to be written off, it is given here one by one, that you can write, or already cap reduction account you have written. So the same things you can write here. Okay, so cap reduction account is being debited. Give a credit to profit and loss account 1, to plant and machinery account, to goodwill account, and to investments account. Okay, with these amounts. Still the difference, capital reserve account. So to profit and loss account, the written off in there, that you write. Then to plant and machinery account, to goodwill account, to investments account, then to capital reserve account. Okay, that is the difference. So you can take the values whatever is being given here. Illaru nodi athwa illi en kottanu ondu 2,10,000, 90,000, 40,000, 8,000, and still the difference you are getting. Now the difference is taken as a capital reserve account. Hope you have understood this. So pass it down and write down the entries. Compared to the previous chapter, absolutely this chapter is much easier. Internal reconstruction is easier only, provided you give more concentration in the beginning and try understanding the concept clearly. Pause it down and write down. For the balance, we shall see in the next class. Thank you.